Hello and welcome back to the Old Stream Farm with me, Mrs. Sim Gamer. I hope that you are incredibly well today. So I have made a massive boo-boo. Somehow I didn't record my audio, so I'm doing a voiceover, guys. I'm doing a voiceover. So this is either going to go really well or really bad. But anyway, let's jump into it. So this is where I talk to you about the fact that we have weeds. Weeds have grown, guys. So, and not just little weeds, big weeds. So we're going to need a hoe. We could get herbicide, but I do decide to go for a hoe. There is a John Deere mod 5100, but if you look at my bank balance, I haven't actually got enough money for that. So what can we do? Thankfully our sheep have been productive and have been making us a little bit of milk, and when we go to check that on the time stock saving, we can see we can make £1,515 right now at the dairy. So we're going to take it, sell it, so that we can afford our new hoe. Only problem is, as you can see, we don't have anything to take it there with. Sold the truck. I had to sell the truck. So what we're doing now is we're going to have to walk it up there, old school style. I know this is dreadfully painful. I'm having to watch myself back at this time. But I do something quite important in between dropping these pallets off when I'm talking to you. So we will just watch this a little bit through. So this pallet turns out to be just over £600, so it's £678, and thankfully we're now in the positive with the environmental score, 15 pounds extra. So before we were hitting the negative all the time, so I'm really happy about that. Let's head over and get the second pallet. And one of the things which I now go into is I had some fantastic comments, and I have to thank all of you which has contacted me about the contract situation. Sorry, nearly lost my breath there. One person mentioned about lazy farmers. Turning lazy farmers on. This is NPC farmers more often skip work on their own fields, so more contracts can be offered. I already had the better contracts mod installed, so I'm activating this and turning on all of the sub settings: harvesting, sowing, plough and cultivate, fertilizing and weeding. So that they're now all active. Okay. Let's now go down to the contracts. I then clear this and I do my thing, add in new contracts. Still not working. The only thing which has been mentioned to me since, which I didn't do in this episode, was the contract tabs along the top, so baling, cultivating, fertilising, harvesting. I need to go in and check those to make sure that I am not being perfectly silly. Normally they're just all in one long list, so, but I will check that when I go back into record mode to see if there's anything there that I can do to make that situation a little bit better. But yes, thank you so much everybody for all of your comments. It means the world. Okay everybody, now let's jump in and look for that hoe that I was talking to you about. This is the one. It's the row crop cultivator by John Deere, but it is a hoe. It is a hoe. It's 4.6 meters wide, and it only requires 50 horsepower, so it's absolutely perfect for our tractor. We don't have any money, so I'm not gonna bother adding anything. But here it is. It's really nice. It really is perfect for our farm. It's the right size. Only thing is it doesn't fold up, but we do have enough space. It's not like there are a massive amount of fences around. But let's get it hooked up. I'm not sure what I'm looking for here. Not a clue. I don't remember what I was saying at that point. But yes, let's jump in and get her all hooked up. I do like this tractor. Somebody mentioned that it was a throaty sounding tractor, and I completely agree. She is a nice throaty tractor. Again, I'm not really sure what I'm looking for here. I just do not remember what I was talking about. Apologies, everybody. Not a clue. Not a clue. So, the issue is I recorded this quite a few days ago as well. So now I'm coming back and looking at this thinking, gosh, what on earth was I talking about? Well, I can't imagine it being that interesting either. I think it was something to do with hay. Or the prices of hay, but well, goodness knows. But yes, let's get her all hooked up. And we also just come and check over at the sheep. They're looking as cute as ever. Still 140. Health is good. Water, food, fine. And apparently they're going to have offspring again in 4 months. So, yeah, they're keeping busy. Very, very busy. So, one thing to bear in mind, I do have crop destruction on. This is the first time I've ever played with crop destruction. And, oh, that was a terrible angle I took there. Funny watching yourself back. Yes, it's the first time I've played with crop destruction. Now, I've got narrow-ish tyres on the front, but not on the back of this tractor. So, this isn't the most ideal situation that we're in right now, but I can't also let it grow with the weeds. I just can't. It's a shame I didn't spot the fact that there was small weeds growing before they got to the medium size. Here I'm just checking the horsepower limit. But yeah, they're not that narrow, those tyres on the front. I mean, they are thinner than the ones on the back. You can't really see from this angle. But yeah, you can see the damage that's being done by me driving over it. Some quite significant gaps there, but is what it is. The other thing is we couldn't afford a roller, so this also hasn't been rolled. But again, we've just got to roll with it for this first time to get something, get some money out of this. So yes, sit back, relax, and I'm just going to put the rest of this on a time lapse so that you can enjoy a little bit of this without me talking. So, I'll catch you after the weeding is completed.
I can't be open unless it's you. I'm short of helpless. I can't get through. I'm not the person you think I am. I'm barely human. I'm only man. And I'll come around, 'cause you'll keep me on the ground, grounded. When I'm with you, you bring me to awake. Another person, and I'd move on, but you're only human. I see nothing wrong. We all make mistakes, but I guess that's what it takes to love someone. When I'm with you, you guide me through, awake. Just another day to sit and stay awake. Well, I'll wait.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that little track there. It was quite chilled, I thought. A little bit of a different vibe. But yes, as you can see, the ground is torn up quite substantially. We need to try and avoid going on there again until it is harvest time. That is for sure. We do not want to get involved with anything else. I just can't afford narrow tyres right now. So this is going to be the case until we can swap them out. Maybe I should have put narrow tyres on to begin with. It's quite difficult to know what to do in this circumstance. But yes. The other thing is I've missed a patch. Ah! I missed a patch. So annoying. So I'm going to jump back in that tractor, finish it off, and then we're going to head to the field to do some grass cutting, rolling, baling, and some very, very quick wrap. Okay, here we are, guys. Let's back up onto the mower. Now, if you remember, we purchased this, was it a couple of episodes ago? We just tested it out, as you can see behind the pre-cut grass. Works an absolute treat, to be honest, this mower. Really easy. It's really light as well, so for this tractor it is not a problem at all. We've got quite a pace. It's not slowing us down. Even when we go up a slight hill, we're still achieving quite a good pace. So you'll see in a moment, we're going to do a little turn and twist, and you'll see that we managed to get up the hill quite nicely and quite quickly. This tractor still just is, obviously it's a much older model, so it does require a little bit more patience. You can't just put your foot on the floor and it move. But yes, look, no issues at all going up this hill. So I'm really happy with this purchase. Even though the width is pretty thin. But for what we are doing, do you know what? I'm pretty happy. Look at that smooth turn as well. It doesn't wobble either. If you look at the back, there's no wobble. It's pretty sturdy. Nice little mower this is. Nice little mower. Well, that did not take time at all. So we're all mowed. Very happy about that. Now our next job is to go and attach ourselves to our windrower. We do have a windrower. It's a cheap windrower. It's a modded windrower, and it does work a trick. So we're going to drive up to the main farm and get ourselves set up, clipped up and good to go. The nice thing is as well, we invested in the bell loader. So this is the bell stacker. So we don't need a front loader or a fork of any sort. We've got one. This tractor on hills, I'm telling you, the brakes are not sharp. I just kept on rolling around everywhere. But yes, I'm happy that we invested in that as well, because now our job is going to be made a lot more simple. Okay, here we go. Here's our little windrow. It's not very big. Doesn't need the PTO because it's a really old-fashioned windrower, and all it needs is movement, acceleration, and it just uses that momentum to pull the grass from one side to the other. It's a nice, simple piece of kit. There is a version of this where you can get a sort of like a V-shaped windrow, a little bit like the Vermeer pack, where they've got that really nice one, which is a V-shape, but of course that's about 55,000. This one you can get again, as I say, as a modded version. Looks like this in a V-shape, and that's a really good mod as well. Just couldn't afford it. Just couldn't afford it. But yeah, let me reverse up and show you how this one works. It's pretty simple, really. It's just put it down and drive. It's probably one of the most simple pieces of kit I've got on the farm, to be quite honest. That and the cultivator. No electronics. But look at the dust that is throwing up in the air. I can barely see where I'm going, which is hilarious. But you can see the row that it's doing is pretty neat. It's pretty neat. And that's the important thing, a good neat row. And if you look at it, it's about a tractor's width worth that we're doing at a time. Well, this tractor width anyway. We all know these tractors can be big, really big. But yes, let's have a look at what we've done. I'm actually quite happy with that. But as you can imagine, this job takes a little bit of time, so I'm not going to put you through watching all of it. I do go around the outside first, just to push everything in from the edges. I think that's always a good idea when you're doing any form of windrowing. Pull anything inwards, especially if you've got a much bigger mower. Sometimes the spray goes a little bit further, or if you've done any tedding, you can lose bits to the verges. So yeah, you see me here just pulling everything in and making sure that we're not losing any grain of grass. That is definitely not what we want to do. Every single penny counts in a start from scratch series. Every single penny. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'm going to bring you back in once we're on the next stage. Well, here we go. Here is our gorgeous baler. Another oldie, and I love it. You'll see us using it now. I haven't windrowed the entire field yet. I just wanted to come and see and get tested how this baler works, if the rows aren't too big. That was my only concern, because it is an old baler. The rows are quite humpy. So here we go. Gonna test it out now. Spoiler alert, it's absolutely fine. So this doesn't have an automatic drop. This is an older baler. Baler. So we do have to open the back ourselves, and it takes a little bit of time, which I really like. And it drops the bale, and then you have to close it back up. And again, that process is quite a lot longer than a modern baler, which you'll see in a moment. So here I am, I'm just checking to see if there's any automatic. But there we go, we're going to see it come up in a moment. And that's it. It's really good. We have to put it back down ourselves. But I like that it takes that time, because it is an older machine. It's not just like blip blip like these brand new ones, which are just so impressive. But yeah, thankfully this works out to be quite good. I'm just going right into the middle of the road. No one is around today on this map, it seems. It's really quiet. I do have traffic on, but look, it's just so peaceful. Okay, I just push this back a little bit further so I don't get in the way of anything else. And here we go. Here she comes. 3, 2, 1. Bloop. Really nice. So this baler has no issues whatsoever with the size of row that we were creating. Really happy about that. There is a little bit of groundwater there, which is a bit concerning. I don't like that at all. I don't like that. So now what I decided to do is to show you guys how this wrapper works. Thankfully I put on a front PTO, so I'm going to attach to this from the front, but very carefully navigating our crop field. So I just need to tap it ever so slightly to try and get it to twist. I don't particularly want to use super strength as much as I do. So, but yeah, look at the gaps in that field. Oh, it's so agonising to look at. Alright. And the really cool thing about this is it's about 500 kilograms, this wrapper. So I end up using it as a front weight. And I just keep it on the front for the baling, the rowing and the baling at the end, because it just makes sense to have a little bit of weight on the front. The nice thing about weighting as a whole, it doesn't matter how the weight is coming on if it's not slowing you down, which this bit of kit certainly doesn't. It's really good. So all I simply have to do is lower the wrapper. I end up figuring it out in a second. Drive towards it, and it picks it up pretty automatically for you once you get it in the right angle, and starts wrapping. And now we spin the camera to the front so you can see how it's working at the front. It's just those two bits at the front are creating momentum and moving the bale round so that the wrapping can commence super easily. It's a really, really gorgeous mod. And then just simply reverse out of it, lift it up, and then move on to the next bale. So it is a really good mod. I'm very, very happy with it. 3,000 litres as well comes in one bale out of that baler, which again, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not a massive baler. It does mean we'll be handling more bales because it is only 3,000 litres. Which isn't, you know, if you get a bigger Hessen baler, you're looking at 9,000 litres per bale. It's less to handle, but that's not the place and the situation that we're in. So yes, really easy, and it's actually easier to come in from the side and wrap her up that way round, and it doesn't take a massive amount of time. I mean, it's no quick bale mod, but that's £60,000. Here we go, reverse out. Super easy. Then just lift it up and fold it, and it just sort of tucks in a little bit tighter, so that when you're driving around, you don't tend to bash it as easy. But now, as I say, I'm going to keep this on and use it as a front weight, and using it as a front weight with our windrower. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. Maybe I'm looking at the size of the bales? I'm not sure. Not sure what I did there. Just don't remember. But yes, we go and attach back up to the windrower and get started again. To be honest, that windrower is pretty light, so whether we needed a front weight or not, I don't know. But to me, it's a definite must when you've got that baler on the front. On the back, it's quite heavy. But anyway, let me get all this baling done, and wish me luck. Alright everybody, as you can see, it's quite dark. It took me a long time, but I'm really pleased to let you know 15 bales come out of it. Wasn't the biggest yield, wasn't expecting the biggest yield, but I'm pretty happy with 15 bales. As you can see, all perfect, great size, and Got no complaints whatsoever. So let's go back up to the farm. Everything's pretty dirty. That was kicking up so much dirt down there. So much dirt, so much dust. So we are going to need to look at getting some form of pressure washer. Actually, the windrow, considering how much we dust up, that wasn't too bad. But the baler and the tractor is definitely feeling it and needs a good old clean. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, hit that like button. And until next time, see you again soon.